Welcome to this edition of Transformation Thursday. As always, we are grateful, we're thankful that you have thought it good to be a part of this discussion on today. So we are certainly grateful. We thank God for you for taking the time to join us on today. As always, welcome Dr. Christopher Chappell. Christopher, at the start of this month, we moved into the fourth quarter of the year. And like many of you, I started the year off strong. I had a set of goals, and I began to execute on those goals. I saw some quick wins in several areas, but I also noticed that I got a little complacent. And then, as life would have it, a few challenges arose, and I found that I lost some ground. In quarter two, I carried that complacency, and from quarter one, and before I knew it, we were already in quarter three. Quarter three saw the spirit of procrastination kick in. And now it's quarter four. In Philippians chapter 3, Paul gives us a glimpse into his own life. And he would say, I've had some wins, but I have not attained my goal. But I press towards the mark of a higher calling. I press towards the mark of bigger goals. There's a reality that sometimes it feels as if though this higher calling or those bigger goals are outside of our reach and often feel unachievable, especially when the challenges of life come and whatever it may be, we are not moving as we thought we would. And sometimes it feels like an impossible mission, a mission filled with challenges and obstacles on every turn, a mission where the enemy is attempting to kill at every turn. But God has placed a mission and a goal in the front of us. He has placed a promise on the inside of each of us and a destiny in front of us. He has placed greatness in our spirit. But each of us need to know that nothing worth having comes easy, because the enemy has literally peeked into our futures, and he will attempt to kill your dream and to steal your joy. He will attempt to destroy all that you have worked for. He will place obstacles in your path and trouble in your way and hell in your experience. He will send heartache and pain. He will send false love. He will entice you with the treasures of this world. He will weigh you down and beat you up. But each of us are given a choice to either finish or give up, a choice for greatness or being average, a choice for a higher calling or unutilized potential. And all too often, because of the issues of life, because of the challenges and the troubles, because of our false beliefs, we abort the mission and forgo our goals and our dreams. And because of that, we find ourselves stuck. Stuck causes you to blame others. Stuck causes you to hate on others. Stuck causes you to lie, to cheat, to steal. Stuck is your false belief, because you are what you think. If you think you will never do it, that you will never achieve it, if you think you will never be anything, then you'll never be anything. If you think you're not good enough, then you're not. If you think you don't deserve it, then you don't. So as a man thinketh, so is he. You can never outperform your self-image. But you and I have an opportunity in this fourth quarter of 2024 to recreate our lives. We don't have to be stuck any longer. In fact, David said in Psalms 40, he pulled me up out of the miry clay and out of the horrible pit. We each have an opportunity. God gives us an opportunity with each new day. He gives us an opportunity to recreate our lives. So here's the question. The question becomes, how? How do you do that? That's the question I want to pose to you today, Christopher. How do we do that?
Great question, Doc. The way that we recreate our lives is by simply re-engaging. The first thing is that we have to realize what happened has happened. We can't change that. But what we can change is our efforts and our discipline in going forward. You can't get back missed opportunities, but what you can do is create new opportunities. And as we build and create new opportunities, it's all about focusing forward. I'll give you an example, and let me be vulnerable just for a moment. At the beginning of this year, personally, I set out great ambitions and goals that I had set forth. Mm-hmm. And for some of those things that you were just talking about in terms of dealing with frustrations, hurt, or setback, I experienced that. So to me, that was a hard hit. Mm-hmm. But you don't get unstuck by staying stuck. Right. You don't get out the hole by digging. You have to climb. Mm-hmm. And the way that we climb is starting to reassess the actions that were taken. That's nothing more than feedback. Mm-hmm. And then start to examine how to put something together that we will get incrementally better day after day. It's about that 1%. If I could be 1% better each day. Now, my 1% better or that effort, it doesn't always feel good, doesn't look good. Sometimes it doesn't even look like it's moving. Yeah. But as you continue to make consistent actions towards a goal, then over time, you'll start to see the wins stack up. You have to think about it as a milestone. If you consider a milestone or a mile marker, if you start at mile marker 0 and you're trying to get to mile marker 400, that seems like a long way off. Yeah. But at each mile marker, you see the number increase. It doesn't always increase fast, and some miles are slow. Sometimes there's traffic jams, sometimes there's setback. But as long as you continue to push forward, the number increase, and you come closer to that destination. And I want to make sure that we all just stay focused and continue to hit those benchmarks, those milestones, and move towards that goal. I think if you do that, then you'll see recreation of what you envisioned initially.
Yeah, I love that. Actually, you captured my thoughts very well. Really looking into Paul's words, particularly in Philippians chapter number 3, Paul kind of lays out how we can do that. And he, in essence, really said exactly what you just said. The first thing he said, you got to forget about what's behind you. It's done. It's done. Forget about what's behind you. Assess, use it as a type of feedback. But forget about that. Tomorrow is over. Today is right now. Or rather, I'm sorry, yesterday is over. Today is right now, and tomorrow we look forward to. Paul said, I'm forgetting about what's behind me. And then he says, and I'm pressing, meaning that I'm pushing towards what's in front of me. I'm pushing towards the goals and the things that I have that has been placed on the inside of me. I'm pushing towards those things. And then he points out, you got to have the mind of Christ, mind that says, I can and I will. And one of the things that the Hebrew writer says, that he said Jesus endured. In other words, you got to fail forward. We don't fail. We learn. We learn. I learned from yesterday. It helps me to be better today. And maybe the 3 quarters that have passed, I'm not where I expected to be. But I learned something. If you have ever watched any amount of football, you've probably noticed how oftentimes at the beginning of the 4th quarter, players raise up 4 fingers. And in doing so, they're making a statement. They're making a declaration that despite what has happened in the previous 3 quarters, they are literally declaring, I'm going to finish strong. Maybe you are not where you wanted to be, but you can still finish the year strong. Maybe it didn't work out the way you wanted it, but you can still finish strong. You can still finish strong. In this 4th quarter, you and I, regardless of what the other 3 quarters of the year look like, we can still finish strong. And with that, I want to pass this over to Chris to allow you to put a finishing touch on this.
Let me offer a thought. Maybe the first 3 quarters were necessary for an adjustment period. Because thinking back, those first 3 quarters, if I would have built on the foundation that I set then, I would not be nearly in the position that I am in right now. I'm just speaking personally.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's true for many of us, though. Because sometimes it not working out the way that we desired to work out is an indication that we need to make a game time adjustment. And when we make that game time adjustment and course correct and build on a more solid foundation, then that which we are intending to build will be erect, that it will be solid and strong, and that it will stand the test of time. So don't always look at it, as you already mentioned, as a failure, because it's a learning experience, but also look at it as God's protection as well.
Right. Yeah, that's good.
Because it's important to get it right. And once we do that and make the adjustment, we know 4th quarter is go time.
Yeah.
There's no slipping us from here. So be strong, be dedicated, and win the 4th.
I like it. That's good. And so for our listening audience, is the 4th quarter. And I want you to affirm with me, with Chris, that I will finish strong. I will finish strong. See you next week on Transformation Thursday.